Good evening, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome to Girl World. Tonight, I've got some fun stuff, I hope. Oh, my video stopped going. What's going on here? There we go. But anyway, yeah. Hopefully, everybody's having a good night. I'm going to be covering some new stuff about Foodie. I'm going to be covering a little bit about Rosie. Going to be covering a little bit about Glitter Lazers. I think all the girls are up to some interesting stuff. I know Amber Lynn's been up to some stuff. I covered her a little bit last week. And I may cover just a little bit this week, but it's not going to be a major subject. Not going to be a major subject. But let me welcome everybody in. See, we already got a nice full crowd tonight. Welcome in, Ipisa. Hopefully you're having a great night. Saving Nation, always good to see you. Hello. Steady C. Hi, guys. Good to see you, Steady C. Oh, and everyone, be sure to choose live chat rather than I can't remember what it's called. Rather than top chat. Sorry. Yeah, it's top chat or live chat. Be sure to choose live chat because top chat is going to close out some of the chats. And as far as the title of the video goes, I wanted to use Hijab of the Hut, but YouTube censored it when I wrote it as a comment. So I figured they would probably censor it if I put it as a title. Okay, so let me finish welcoming everybody in here. Welcome in, Helen Gorfield. Hi, everyone. Appear, hope I'm saying that right. Hello, welcome in. I think it's your first time in here. I don't remember that name, certainly. Welcome in. Nutty, always good to see ya. Mags R, welcome in. Yes, everyone, please hit that like and subscribe coming in. Alizu, always good to see ya. Rudy, good to see ya. Pray for Allie Patches. Hopefully she's okay, whoever that is. But always good to see you, Rudy. Hopefully you're doing well. Keeping count on everything. Right? Oh, hello, Mushy. And I tried something really delicious. Welcome in, Capone Boxer. Welcome in, Mushy. Hopefully I think I swallowed my words there a minute ago. Welcome in. Hello, everyone. Got a nice full crowd tonight already. Big full chat. Fallen Angel. Thank you again for your membership. As always, Fallen Angel. Welcome in. Oh, and before I forget, let me also mention, Icy made I forgot what it's called, like not a super chat, but like a super comment on one of my, on the last stream from last week. She made a $10 super comment. I gotta figure out the word for it, but she put up $10 on the channel. So there you go. Oh, Rudy is under a different name now, Capone. Rudy is under the name Fern. Fern something. I'm sorry, I don't recall it. I don't see it right here, but Rudy Fern, I think it says. But yeah, he's in there under a slightly different name though now. Okay, everybody. So let's get started with the content for the night, right? Been here about a few minutes already. Got a chance to get started. Hopefully welcomed everybody in. Oh, let me also mention that this Saturday is going to be a very special stream. It is going to be part 2. If you missed part 1, that's not a problem, but it's going to be part 2 of the in-depth look at the Glitter Lazers podcast, Medical Detectives podcast, that she calls it. The Medical Detective podcast, she talks about her personal genetic situation and how it's impossible for her to lose weight no matter what she does. I guess I spoiled it a little bit, but it's going to be very interesting to hear the details of it. Part 1 was very interesting. I thought it was a lot of fun. And on the podcast, she really goes in more in depth, really lets loose with her crazy personal theories. So it's a lot more chances to kind of hear what Anna really thinks rather than her videos where she puts on a very polished image. She's more willing to kind of speak her mind on the podcast. I think it's going to be very interesting. So let me put on the let me get on the video clip here. All right. Yeah, I hope everybody's having a good night tonight. I've been having a pretty good week. A little bit of, busyness here and there, but nothing too bad, right? Oops, I already welcomed you folks in here. Okay. Welcome in, Otaki. Good to see you. Otaki is a great channel. A lot of excellent videos also. A lot of fun shorts and such. Welcome in, Tucker and Friends. Yeah, Mom is doing pretty good. She's doing pretty good. Thank you for your concern. All right. So it looks like we got everybody welcomed in pretty much. Saving Nation, good to see you. All right, so let's start off with some foodie content for tonight. We got a brand new foodie video, and this one is hilarious. I previewed some of it, but I didn't watch the full thing because it is hilarious. I was cracking up. Foodie, I know. Foodie is always full of crap. But this sounds, even for her, this is absurd. She's talking about going on a water fast. I know, right? It sounds crazy. She said she's going to go on a water fast. She's going to start a new fast. It's not going to be any kind of normal fast where she eats. It's not going to be her typical Ramadan fast. That is too lax. The Ramadan fast is too easy for her. It's not strict enough. So, well, thank you, Tucker and friends. It's been a slow but steady progress. You know, it could have been going a little bit faster. I don't, but overall, I'm grateful. I don't want to, complain about some little stuff. Things are overall moving in a very positive direction. So I'm going to, say that. And if Mom, if you're watching this, if you're watching the replay, keep up the great work. Welcome to Jamie Carpenter. Good to see you. We're just in time. We're about to begin the coverage of Foodie tonight. We're going to start off with a brand new Foodie video. She just put it out. So we're going to start off with that. And everybody here is innocent till proven guilty. That's the philosophy we go by here. Everybody gets a chance to make the best impression. That's what I always say. Okay, so yeah, this video is absolutely hilarious. It is unhinged. This is Foodie at her best. I was going to do a retro react tonight, and I still probably will. But when this video came out, I said, okay, I've got my video for tonight. It is just that good.
2012. If you want to watch him play some good games.
Oh yeah, it starts off with the most pathetic thing. It starts off with the most pathetic advertisement for Salah's video game channel. I thought that they weren't even together anymore, but I guess she's staying with him just, she wants to act like they're still together, so she's going to advertise his channel. But she's doing it slick though. She's not advertising his channel directly. She's starting off by advertising somebody else's gaming channel. Because naturally that leads to the conversation. Oh, you like gaming? Oh, I didn't realize that. Well, if you like gaming, you really should check out my husband's channel.
Bye.
So here we go.
A lot of you ask what I like to watch on YouTube, and the rad.
Oh, how's the volume, by the way? She sounds really quiet for me. So hopefully this is good for everyone.
Rad is one gamer I've been watching since 2012. If you want to watch.
A gamer she's been watching since 2012? I didn't hear that the first time. I only skimmed this video. That's a long time. I'm a pretty serious gamer. And I don't mean like I'm like some weirdo who stays in his room and plays video games all day. But I mean like I grew up with video games in the house. I was playing them as a kid. I've always enjoyed tabletop games. I've always enjoyed gaming. It's always been a hobby of mine. I did Magic cards pretty seriously for a while. I have not been watching game streaming. I didn't start watching streamers until like maybe 2018. 2017, and I can't think of anybody I've watched for more than like maybe 3 years, 4 years. So for her to say she's been watching somebody for over 10, that's just hard to believe, right? Like, I mean, how long has game streaming even been a thing? Like, I'm trying to think of, I have friends who were into it for a long time, and I don't think they've watched anybody for more than 7 or 8 years. Like, I mean, I guess maybe some of them have, but game streaming was barely even a thing 10 years ago.
Him play some good games. I like watching his horror game series. This is The Quarry from 2022. And does anyone else like watching people play video games? It's like a comfort thing for me. After I do my housework, I just like to relax a bit and watch people play video games. Oh.
That's Foodie. Just being honest. She likes to relax and watch video games. That's always what she's like to do, right? Remember back in the villa, Foodie would always be all about those games. She's a real hardcore gamer. She doesn't just take on the personality of whatever guy she's with. She's not just, it's like when she was with Natter, she was a party girl. She liked to party, in quotes. I'll say it like that, censor myself a little bit. But you know what I mean. She liked to party with Natter. Now that she's with Salah, all of a sudden, oh, I like to watch games. I'm this gamer. I'm a gamer because Salah, he likes to game, so I'm a gamer. It's pretty obvious what's going on here. Hey, respect to her for trying at least, right? At least trying to do a little hustle.
I don't know.
Absolutely, Jamie. Thank you very much for the message. Everyone,
I look awful.
Be sure to click that like button if you're enjoying the content.
This is my messed up sleep pattern face.
Okay, now, I don't like to dwell a lot on looks, but just to do a health update, let's look at Foodie for a second here. It looks like she turned off the skin smoothing filter, but she left on the skin color. She turned off the color filter, but the skin smoothing filter is still on. Like her skin you can't really see all the, her skin looks smoother than it is, but it looks very pale and washed out. I butchered that. I spoke so awkwardly, but hopefully I got my point. Where I feel like she turned off one of the filters and not the other. Her skin looks much smoother than it does whenever we see her out in the sun, but it also looks a lot more washed out, a lot paler. So that's not a great sign. Foodie's gotten a lot bigger, and later on I'm going to be showing a retro react. It's hilarious when Foodie first put on the hijab, and she totally contradicts everything she's been doing right now.
I'm always tired, always. Which is
always
why I haven't
tired.
Really been doing
so healthy. Healthy
as
girl.
much content the past few days, like going out, live streaming, blah, blah,
no
blah,
problem,
yeah.
Jamie. Have a safe drive.
I want to talk to you guys about
I don't think
something that
they
I'm going
live
to be
together
doing.
anymore. I think that Salah he may stay there like one night a week or something, but I think he's maybe there one night a week at most at this point. I don't think she can afford to keep him there very often. I think she has to basically pay him for his time. Like Salah will, if she wants to have Salah, she has to pay him for the car ride over, the gas, and she has to pay him a flat rate for the day. That's my belief. Or buy him a gift.
Tomorrow when I wake up.
But thank you for the question.
This is something. Look, I know I look crazy to you guys.
Well, there are some who've been around for a while. But I just don't think Foodie's been watching them.
Because I've tried this many times. Now, I want to do a medical fast. A
medical fast.
Want to do it because I'm somebody who I really, really just believe in it. Like, I've done a lot of, research on the benefits.
She's so young and hip.
Watched a lot of documentaries of people who have done prolonged water fasts. I completed a 5-day water fast shortly after I first started my YouTube channel.
She completed a water fast shortly after starting her YouTube channel. She started her YouTube channel long enough ago that I have to be straight up. I did not see the videos from when she first started the channel. I've only seen clips of them. She's had so many videos, it's just not reasonable for me to have watched all of them. I know most of you haven't seen all of them either, but I know a few of you have. So if anybody of you have seen like the really old videos, do you remember that water fast? Do you remember if that was possibly a legit thing, or is she just kind of making that up? But yeah, a water fast. Speaking of food and fasting and all that, I treated myself to a treat. You know what they had at Costco? They had the Kuwait chocolate bars. You know the chocolate bars that Foodie and Salah were getting, the ones with the pistachio cream filling? They had those at Costco, and they were made in Turkey. So they were very legit. At least I think they were legit. And the ingredients were all just chocolate and pistachio, all natural ingredients. And I got some of them, and they were so darn good. The one thing that really stood out to me, they tasted a little bit like a peanut butter cup, but more pistachio-y, obviously, because they were pistachio. But the other thing I noticed was they were not that sweet. They were a lot less sweet than an American candy, at least like what you would get at the gas station or something. So it was really good. Oh, I should have done a live taste test. Fallen Angel, I see your chat. I should have done a live taste test. Oh, I feel so bad now. You're right. I should have done one. I still have some. I could do some tomorrow. I can still do it tomorrow. And welcome to Mrs. Butler. I know I missed a few of you folks. Missed some of your chats. But I just wanted to share that quickly. Rosie has quit YouTube. We're going to be looking at her sign-off message just a little bit. Hopefully I didn't miss too many chats, but let me catch up to what's going on now. Fast food, fast living.
I think back in 2018, and I remember it was hard, but I remember the mental clarity I had, how shiny my hair and skin was just glowing. And
all right, 5-day water fast, she had mental clarity. Now, I'm not going to say that's impossible. In fact, I think for some people that could happen. That makes sense. Some people, if you're very mentally aware and you meditate, and if you're a very spiritual person, or just a very mindful person, I think that's possible. Foodie is a creature of impulse. She gives into her feelings, her cravings. The thought of her mind being clearer after 5 days without giving into a craving sounds completely absurd to me. I think after 5 days, she would have been ready to chew her hand off. That's what I think. But am I wrong? Does anybody actually remember this water fast? Did she ever make a video about it?
I remember like how good I was feeling. And I feel that, like, I truly believe in my mind.
I think so too. I don't think she really would.
The only way to like really.
You do hippieista. Would you think it was a legit fast?
Heal my body.
I'd be interested to hear. I'm interested to hear how it worked out. Like for her, do you think that, like, did it actually go well for her, or is she just kind of putting rose tinted glasses, or viewing it through rose tinted glasses, or did she actually respond well? Because if she did respond well, then I'm surprised she hasn't tried it again. I don't think she's going to respond well this time. I think this time she's going to give up within a day. I don't think she's going to make it even 1 day. Her fast food fast didn't even make it 2 days.
So what I would be doing with this fast, it wouldn't be a, eating disorder. It wouldn't be any of that. It would be medical and also religious.
Also religious. Medical and also religious. Unlike her current fast, which is neither. Because it's not a fast. It doesn't
It'd be
exist.
a way to become more spiritual, connected to God. And even though, like, yes, Ramadan fasting, but this is like prolonged, and like apparently after a certain amount of time, the mental clarity
I am so
just
sorry,
keeps enhancing.
Lisa.
And
I shamed the
I can't explain it. Like,
chat.
I'm just so, I don't have any energy right now.
My peasant candy.
But if you look up, there's a man, Angus Barbieri. He was a Scottish guy,
Just some cheap.
a Scottish man, and he has the world record for the longest fast.
So a Scottish
and,
man set the record for the longest
he was
fast.
Over 400 pounds. He did, I think, 382 days or something like that fasting. Mostly just water and some other supplements.
Exactly.
But no food. And
yep.
I believe,
Spot on,
he
hippies.
lost,
It was
show you a
good.
picture. He lost all of the weight, of course. And
I actually do think, now let's just play a hypothetical scenario for a second. Let's just play the what if game. If Foodie had the mindset and the motivation to do a serious prolonged fast, I think it would be good for her. I think she's somebody who a fast would probably benefit her. She has so much body fat. At the same time, I think that she could take vitamins for the nutrients that she needs. I think she could take some kind of protein powder, protein drink, and that would be enough, because she has so much body fat. I think for at least, I don't know how long. I'm not a doctor. Let me put up my little disclaimer. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know how. I'm not, somebody who could actually say for sure how long she could handle that. But I think she could handle it for a while. But of course, she can't actually handle it. But I think her body, let me rephrase that. Her body can handle it. Her mind, who's to say? Her mind is very, very fragile in that sense. She breaks down quickly. Did she, Archie? I remember she said that she was going to do some kind of a, I think that was when she did not the Octavia, the Unicity thing, where she said she was just going to do the drink and just have like a salad. I think she may have said, she did say she was going to do the Ramadan fast in the past, but she never really did it. So, but I'll take your word on that one. I know she's attempted fasts.
I believe in autophagy. So,
I am not sure,
autophagy just means self-eating.
I will look at that after the show.
Basically, your body.
I will look into that and send you a message.
Gets rid of all of the, damaged cells in your body, and autophagy actually also reverses aging.
And Foodie is talking about something very that is a real thing, but I think she's taking it out of context. Autophagy, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. It's a real thing. It's believed to be one of the benefits of fasting. It's where your body kind of, I don't want to sound like I know this. I don't want to act like I know this better than I do. I just want to make that clear. I only know the very basics of this, very simple level, where the body cannibalizes the dead cells and things that it doesn't really need, and it uses them for, and it kind of repurposes the material to produce healthy cells. It sounds almost too good to be true, but apparently it really does work, at least to some extent. That's not to say that everybody should just quit eating, but there are definitely benefits to fasting, and I would encourage people to look into that if they have not already done so. I believe that it could help Foodie if she could actually stick to it, but she has such an addictive personality that I don't think she could even, she needs the inpatient care. We've talked about it. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but the fast for her is just not going to work. It's not going to work.
It can. And this is backed by scientific evidence, which is easily Googleable as well. So I believe in that as a way of healing. In Islam, we believe in fasting as a way of healing, and I've always believed that. I've talked about this on my channel, ad nauseum, many times. I've tried to do a fast and I've failed. And I get laughed at, and you can laugh at me. I don't really care. I'm going to just keep trying.
And I'm sure most of you already know, most of you are already well aware, but Rose has an awesome channel of her own. She does a lot of great reacts and live streams. And she also does some tarot card reading, which is something that I don't know nothing about, but it's definitely an interesting thing to check out. So if that sounds interesting to you, definitely give her channel a look. If any of my mods want to post a link to her channel, more than welcome to do so. And also, if anybody wants to post up a link to Otenki's channel, and Hippie Easter's channel, hopefully I'm not bogging you down with too much work. But yeah, if anybody wants to get some links up, that's would be very much appreciated. Thank you.
Because it's something I believe in, and it's something that I know if I can do. I want that mental, I want to just not think about food for a good month.
I know where she's coming from with that. Oh, and that, by the way, I probably should, I'm going to let this play, but I'm going to put that on too. Foodie admitted to a binge the other day. This binge that she admitted was so crazy, and I hope my video doesn't get taken down for using the B word, but whatever. She must have been like a 5,000 calorie binge. It was crazy. And then she ate her regular meals on top of that. So she was looking at like a 10,000 calorie day. I'm going to pull it up while we're watching this, and then we're going to watch that, and then we're going to come back to this.
Fast until I can. As long as I can. I'm not going to set like a time limit or whatever. I'm also not going to edit this video, so if there's some facial tics I didn't edit out, whatever. I sometimes have facial tics. Which I'm trying to control, not.
Foodie admits to facial tics. I know a lot of you folks have talked about her health worsening, and a lot of people have said that they think Foodie's health is really going downhill. They've mentioned things like twitching, one eye being more open or more closed than the other, having issues controlling her hands, controlling her bowels, her bladder. And some of that is kind of worst case scenario stuff. We don't really know for sure. But if she's having an issue with twitching, that tends to reinforce the belief that she's having those other issues. Because when you have nervous issues, they're not always, but if you're having issues with your nervous system, you tend to have them in more than one place. All right, so let me show this one here real quick. So this is what preceded Foodie's change over to this new fast that she wants to do. What preceded it was this massive, insane binge. And well, let's take a listen. And by the way, if anybody's watching the replay, feel free to pause it on right here. This is a great time. This Chantel cycle here
my last night
is actually, I think somebody from Kiwi Farms posted that originally. It is scarily accurate.
of eating bad was the night before, so not yesterday, but the night before.
I really had a really bad, like, night the other day. I had, like, friggin' a whole container of, like, ranch chip dip. And then my stomach was so bad.
I'm glad
oh
it worked well for you.
I had to, like, emergency order some Gaviscon from the pharmacy.
I did Atkins when I was younger, and it worked okay for me, but I wasn't like I had some downsides to it as well. I think that nowadays have gotten a little bit better with it. The keto diet seems a little bit better balanced, a little more effective, and a lot of people have a lot of success with it. So I think it's a good thing. Let me go back.
Some Gaviscon from the pharmacy.
So she ate so much food she had to order Gaviscon. She had to get gas pills delivered from the pharmacy. That's how much she ate. That's eating pretty crazy.
I swear. One of the
I saw that. That's pretty funny.
Expulsions of gas was like, I swear, a good
one will come after the
long.
other? I don't know. Yeah, and why is she making fun of a 12-second... Did you hear what she just said there?
No, I like...
I'm just going to say it delicately. She passed gas for an extended amount of time, and she's cracking up like it's the funniest thing she ever heard. Is she 5 years old? Is she a writer for Nickelodeon or for MTV or something? Like how juvenile can you be? And I understand everybody's different. Maybe Salah likes that. You know, on one hand, I was going to say it's not exactly an attractive attitude, but maybe Salah's into that. You know, he's got some weird tastes. So maybe she thinks that's like a mating call for him.
Ranch dip and like ketchup chips.
So she started off with a massive thing of ranch dip and ketchup chips. Interesting.
One of my binge outs actually was, oh my gosh, this was so bad. And this was like really bad. But I'm just telling you for educational purposes.
And my apologies if I miss anyone in chat.
A whole container of Ruffles brand ranch dip.
Okay, so anybody familiar with that Ruffles brand ranch dip? It's just like palm oil and water with like ranch powder. And it might taste okay. I haven't actually had that before. I don't really like ranch, so I've never tried it. So maybe somebody else can tell me if it's good or not. I have had their nacho cheese dip. It's the nacho cheese dip when I was a kid, I used to like it. But when I got older, I really stopped liking it because I just realized it was just all grease. Like the taste of it was just too greasy. I couldn't really get into it.
Large bag of ketchup chips and a half, like one large bag and a half of another large bag.
So not just a large bag of chips, but a large bag and a half. Back when I used to really, really eat heavily, I want to say I ate an entire bag of chips, but even that was like, it took me an entire day to do it. Like I did it in a couple sittings, but I did eat an entire bag in a day. I thought that was pretty wild, but Foodie's got me beat. A bag and a half in one sitting? That's wild. I mean, if anybody's eating more than that, I mean, on one hand, I have a grudging respect for you, but you know, try to not eat quite that much if you are eating that much. But I'm impressed if anybody can eat that quite. You know, that's a hell of a lot of chips. Welcome in, Susie Q.
2 boxes. I can't even say this because it's like weird food. It's not funny though.
Interesting fact here from Alicia.
2 boxes of Paxo stuffing.
Yuck.
And a whole 6-pack.
Paxo stuffing. I'm not familiar with Paxo. Is that like more of a Canadian brand? I will say it does not look good. Like maybe it tastes better than it looks, but this is not. This box does not make me want to buy this. Does not look especially tasty as far as stuffing goes. Is it like a Canadian version of stovetop or something? But yeah, stuffing is something that you can generally make yourself without too much effort.
And a whole 6-pack of cheddar hot dogs.
And of course, the halal cheddar wieners. Because regular wieners are not a high enough percentage of fat. Regular wieners are only like, 80% fat? The cheddar wieners are like 90% fat. So that's for somebody who really doesn't want to get any nutrition in their diet. Just wants to have an all-fat diet. Definitely recommend the ones with the cheese mixed in.
Half of a jar of pickles.
That doesn't even matter when you're dealing with a binge this crazy. Like the half a jar of pickles is more just for flavor at this point.
4 diet sodas.
Well, at least the sodas aren't sugary, right? Small victories where we can get them.
2 cookies.
2 cookies. That seems odd to me. Why only 2? Were they really huge? That's the only thing I could think. Maybe they were really huge, or she only had 2 cookies left. That's all I could think.
1 chocolate bar.
A chocolate bar. It was probably that massive, like family-sized chocolate bar. That's crazy.
That's what a binge is like.
Well, that is a binge. That is a massive binge. So anybody didn't hear that, it was a bag and a half of ketchup chips, an entire can of ranch dip, 2 boxes of stuffing, which is insane. What else did she have in there? Half a jar of pickles, 4 cans of soda, and a massive chocolate bar. That's like not even like, that's like crap. That's total crap.
So, I was feeling very ill.
Ugh.
Pretty much in one sitting, because I still had my meals. Like, I had my meals.
Whole pack of hot dogs.
And then I had my, like, binge foods.
Thank you, Susie Q. That is a great point. That was something I wanted to articulate, but I didn't do a good job of it. What Susie here is saying, if Foodie can't even stop when she has all the incentives, when she has the religious incentive, when she can look good to Salah, look good to her Beezers, and lose weight, and save money, every reason in the world to try to do the Ramadan fast, she completely fails it. Can't even do it for a day or 2. Now all of a sudden she's going to do an even stricter fast? Tell me another lie, Foodie. Tell me a better one.
I was so sick. I think I'm still sick from that. So I'm trying to, you know.
That's the real reason why she wants to, quote, go on this fast. It's not because she actually wants to fast. It's because she's still so sick from that binge. Oh, and thank you to Kelly here. Let me post the link, actually, to the Kelly's video that I got, this channel I got this video from. She did the calorie calculation. She got 4,636 calories. Credit from Sansa Cooks. Sansa's the one who originally did this chart. I didn't bother to look it up myself, but that sounds accurate to me. I don't see how that would be wrong. But yeah, that sounds about right. Almost 5,000 calories. If I was going to estimate, I would have said at least 3, probably 4 or something. So yeah, that sounds right to me. But yeah, pretty crazy. Really crazy. I mean, the sodium is also off the chart. The fat is off the chart. Everything about this is off the chart, except for the protein, which manages to be less than what she should probably be eating for the day. Because Foodie really should be having at minimum 100 grams of protein for the day, in my opinion. So her protein intake is not bad. Unfortunately, she's eating like triple the calories that she should be. So take it into consideration. She's having about 1/3 as much protein as she actually should. So let's go back to the other video, the reversing type 2 diabetes video, and let's listen to how Foodie is going to do this. Oh, so Archie, yeah, I didn't even think of that. I totally forgot Foodie. I totally forgot. I just didn't consider that Foodie was diabetic. Because when I was saying earlier how she would be a good candidate for a water fast, I neglected that she's diabetic. On second thought, I don't really know enough to say if she is or she isn't. Because that diabetes could throw a monkey wrench into everything. So she might not even want to try it.
And, you know, somebody brought that up in my chat, and it was funny because I was actually, it's like they were reading my mind because I was actually thinking of trying to restart another fast. And I think it's the only way to fully reset. You can reset your immune system. You can reset your immune system in just a few days of fasting. I'm gonna have just water. I might add some electrolytes to that, like some sea salt after a while, but for now, just water.
Well, welcome to Grateful Life. And welcome to anybody I missed.
A bottle of water, whatever. And
let me repeat, like I always like to, all chatters, all lurkers, all commenters, everyone come by if you're enjoying the show. Even if you're not enjoying the show, if you're here to watch it, you are appreciated. So thank you for joining in, and please click that like button if you're enjoying the content. And if you'd like to see more of this content, please click that subscribe bell as well. I gotta put on some AC real quick. It's a little warm here. I'll be right back.
I'm actually excited because I'm just relieved that I won't have to think about food. I won't have to plan what I'm going to eat. I won't have to worry about meals.
She won't have to worry about meals anymore, right? Like before, she would have to worry so much. She would have to, spend all that time calling up takeout and placing an order on the app. That was a lot of work, folks. I mean, having to drive over to the corner, having to walk down out of the elevator. That's a lot.
I'm just going to let my body do its own thing. The body's an amazing healer. So I'm just going to be fasting and praying and sharing my journey with you.
I have not tried those.
I will say that I'm not encouraging anyone to do this. This is my own journey. Please be careful if you choose to embark on.
That's like Glitter and Lasers. We're going to be looking at her a little bit today. And also this Saturday, we're going to be doing my special on Glitter and Lasers. Her new pictures, you can see Glitter and Lasers, she always put her weight on in her butt and her legs and her back to an extent. Now, after she's got all that liposuction, it's starting to go to her midsection. She's starting to get this big fupa like Foodie now. And she never really used to have that. So I think Foodie, when you gain weight beyond a certain point, it has to go somewhere. And in Glitter's case, getting liposuction is accelerating the process. But we're seeing that with Foodie as well here. It absolutely is going to her face more. Because, I mean, her she can only get so much more penguin-like. She already looks like a penguin.
Any kind of fasting journey. I did talk to a doctor about that the last time I went.
Welcome to the middle of nowhere.
And that was actually my big plan for my big lifestyle change was actually to do a big fast. And, the doctor kind of just looked at me like, but it said to monitor my blood sugars. Like, a doctor can only...
Oh, Nutty, speaking of normal meals, just so you folks know, that binge of hers was not a, what do you call it? The only thing she ate that day. She also ate a bunch of, she also ate her entire meals for the day as well.
They can't force you to not do something, so they just try to give you whatever advice they can. So I'll be monitoring my blood sugar. Although with them being so high, I really doubt that it'll ever dip too low. Actually, I plan on completely reversing my type 2 diabetes by the end of this fast. But a lot of that will depend on how I eat after. And how I'm planning to eat after is whole, clean food. That's it.
Oh, come on, Elisa. You could let a pyre troll just a little bit. She's not doing anything too bad. At least not yet. I mean, if she gets really wild, but if she's just been trolling a little bit, it's okay.
And water. Maybe fresh juices. But whole foods.
Yeah, agreed,
whole,
Nirvana.
Clean foods, probably mostly plant-based.
Oh! I did not know that, Rose. All right, I'll take your word for it, Elisa. I can't see everything that she's saying. I'll take your word for it. But yeah, that's pretty wild that she recently got a bunch of videos removed. All right, Elisa, I will take your word for it. That's why you're the mod. I can only see so much during the show. But yeah, this is getting crazy with Foodie. This so-called water fast that she wants to do.
Mostly, but not entirely. Just an array of really healthy food, like real food. So, but I won't think about that now. I don't know. So yeah, I know you're looking at me.
Here you
like
are. Did
crazy.
I welcome you in already tonight?
And I know
You're
I'm
having a good night?
incredibly tired. I don't think I've ever looked this bad. Like, just remember this face, because after my fast, I'm gonna look a lot better.
So Foodie is already doing what she always does. She's counting her chickens before they're hatched. She's already telling us how she's going to be looking better and feeling better after this fast. Reminds me of when Glitter was telling us how she was going to be looking better and feeling better after her surgery. And, well, we could see for ourselves, it's been quite the opposite. But the difference is Glitter at least got the surgery. Foodie's not going to really do it. 24 videos removed. I'm like missing comments in the middle. I have to catch up, but I'm seeing some of the new comments at the bottom.
The initial 3 days.
Okay. Interesting. Welcome in, Stackers.
It's so hard. Like, it's... If I have the mental fortitude to do this...
They finally did something.
To get through these first few days, you can do anything in life if I can do this. I'm telling you. Let this give you hope if I can do this. For those of you who are like, oh, this is stupid, blah, blah, blah. I know there's people who are going to be against it. This is not something that people... it's not popular. And, you know, I'm going to be seen as attacking people who get weight loss surgery, and that's just not what I'm doing.
Those hot dogs would last me like 2 months, because I don't think I would be able to stomach more than 1 or 2 of them. I really don't like those cheese-filled dogs. I don't know. I just don't like the consistency of them. They're just too mushy.
This is my opinion on it.
It's not my thing.
And to me, it's more radical to cut half of your stomach out.
Good point, Hippiesta.
Than to just try water.
It's a lot easier to find
to try to heal your body and try to lose weight. But that's how I feel. You know, I don't mean to sound arrogant with that. That's just my opinion.
You don't mean to sound arrogant.
Welcome
in, Nirvana. I hope I welcomed you
confident
tonight.
That if I can succeed at this, I will reverse my diabetes.
She's going to reverse her diabetes with this. I thought she already reversed it. Well, first of all, in a way, Foodie is making more sense than Glitter Lasers, because Glitter Lasers said that losing weight would not help her at all, which is, right? That makes sense. Foodie is saying that if she just goes on a fast for a couple days, it'll reverse her diabetes. I don't know which of them is more wrong. They managed to both be totally wrong on totally opposite sides of this debate.
Be extremely healthy. I will be a new me. It'll be like shedding skin. It'll be like a molting bees.
Do you think she really believes this? She's got the shifty eyes. I mean, I know I paused it on the perfect frame, but Foodie is a liar. She's always lying. This is the kind of stuff she always lies about. At the same time, Foodie deludes herself. Foodie will buy into any kind of BS lies, whether it's coming from her ex-boyfriend or whether it's coming from some get-rich-quick scheme or some troll or some diet program, whatever it is. She just falls for whatever. Do you think that she really believes this on some level? Like, I mean, because there is some scientific evidence to autophagy. And yes, if you lose enough weight, you can reverse type 2 diabetes. So what she's saying is not entirely false, but she's in crazy land. If she thinks that she could stop eating for 2 days and that's going to magically fix her problems. Does she really believe this on some level? Maybe. But even she knows she's not going to be able to actually follow through with this.
Anyway, all right. So that's all I wanted to say. So I'm going to be doing that. So
is that
I
why
guess
she
I'll
puts
just
butter
update
on?
you guys daily. My starting weight, highest I've been, I think, in Kuwait. Higher than at the doctor. So I got to do this.
That is a very interesting thing, Stackers. I saw that comment earlier, but now that I'm thinking about it again, is it possible that Foodie removed the video, or is it possible maybe they asked her to remove them? I don't know how YouTube does it because I have not had them ask me to remove videos yet. Hopefully they won't ever, but I'm wondering maybe they asked her to remove them. They made like a voluntary thing, or maybe they demonetized them and then she deleted them because they were demonetized. I mean, if she didn't actually get punished in any way, she didn't get anything revoked, then I'm not 100% sure, what the circumstances surrounding that were. But it's still interesting that they got deleted. That's definitely an interesting
I have to
thing.
give my system a break. My digestive system needs a break. My liver needs to deplete.
Foodie's right about
all
that.
the buildup, I have so much excess fat on my body that, you know, fat stores on my body. What do you think the body
Welcome
stores
to
fat for?
Catsy.
When times when we don't have food. So why am I going to keep feeding my body? Even Dr. Now said that. He said to one of the
Kat,
people, "You have
I love this comment, and that's why I really wanted to do the retro react tonight. I know that this video is eating up more time than I planned, but maybe we'll run a little bit later tonight. The retro react is covering Foodie from 2 years ago, and 2 years ago I was giving her the benefit of the doubt. I was the one saying, well, you know, this whole conversion to Islam and getting married and moving to Kuwait, this is a very big deal. This is something that somebody wouldn't just, you know, fake. This is such a big deal that I think that this has to be for real. And not because I believed Foodie, but just because I believed it was such a big change, a big step. I didn't think she would have followed through with it and not made any other changes in her life. That was my logic. And I ended up being wrong. I can admit I was wrong. Skinny Queen was right. I was wrong. But I don't feel I was stupid for having the opinion I did at the time.
800 pounds of food on your body. You could eat for like not eat for a year and you'd be fine. Nothing, I'm going to be, you know, totally fine, inshallah.
If she really cared about her health, she would.
The only problem is here, I have to. The brain is powerful, man. It is powerful. I have to
In
conquer
your opinion
myself.
and in reality.
And that's what I'm going to do. I know I look crazy. I am crazy right now. I'm at
Fiona's mom.
and I need
Hopefully you're feeling all right. Hope you're having a good evening.
to do something drastic. So,
Stay strong there, Fiona's
thank you
mom. I know
for
you've been
being
going
here.
through a
Wish
lot.
me luck. And I hope that this
It's gonna
time
take a lot
is
longer if she even does it at
going
all.
to be. I would like to do at least 30 days, but that means
At
I'm gonna
least
be
30
fasting for
days?
Eid. I'm going to be fasting for my.
Okay. Now again, this video here, this is why I wanted to watch the whole thing, because I knew it was going to have some absolutely crazy stuff by the end. 30 days water fast? Foodie, if you said you were going to do a 3-day water fast, I wouldn't believe you. But I think that it was possible, maybe. I mean, not realistic. But I think that maybe there was a slight, like 1% chance you maybe could do it. A 30-day fast, you may as well say you're going to do a 100-day fast. Do a 300-day fast. I mean, it's just as believable at this point. She could do a 300-day fast as reasonably as she could do a 30-day fast. A 3-day fast is beyond what I think she could do.
Birthday, but we don't have to do things that are food related, you know. Do you know we can do things?
Probably.
Like, I'll have more energy to actually take you guys like places instead of just food places, you know.
Foodie, you're right.
We can walk around the entire old souk. We can walk around everywhere.
Okay, now this is the kind of talk that bothers me. Because this talk actually bothers me. She's talking about how, when I lose the weight, we could walk around the old souk and we could visit more places and we could do more things and make better content. So is she seriously just BSing and just lying to everybody? Because she must understand that that's true. That's not a lie. Like, does she not realize that if she lost weight that she would be able to do that? And if she does know that and she's lying about it, that's pretty crappy to do. That she knows outright how limited she is and she knows what she has to do to change it, and she just is not willing to put in even the slightest bit of effort.
So
that's pretty sorry. Welcome in, Angelina Ballerina.
Man, we gotta do it. All right,
Hope
guys.
you're having a
Thanks
good
for
night.
listening.
I agree with you there.
And I'll see you tomorrow for day 1.
Tomorrow for day
Which is
1.
gonna be hell on earth. Trust.
I'll say this, as far as fasting goes, in my experience, the first day is not so bad. It's like the first night and like the second day. That's the part that really gets bad. After that, you kind of get like your hunger goes away for a little bit, but it'll come back. But like the first night and the second day were when it really was frustrating for me. In my experience, everybody's different, I'm sure, but that's what I noticed.
Trust me, I've gone through that before. You really, really need the mental fortitude to do it. And you know what? I've done 5 days before.
Agreed. I gotta catch up
which
on the
is
chat.
hard for the average person.
Look at me, Megan Fox.
but there's people who've done like a year of no eating, like the Angus guy.
Sorry, folks, I got to
There's
skip ahead of
been
the
people
chat a
who've
little
done
bit.
50 days.
I'm going to try to see if I missed some comments, but if anybody has something they'd really like me to see, please just tag me and I will try to see it. But I did have to skip ahead just a little bit to catch up.
30 days. And they've always come out healthier than what they started with. And
I don't
that's
get
what
it
I
either,
hope for.
Fiona's mom.
So here's to reversing type 2 diabetes the natural way, because the medications I'm taking, they don't cure anything.
Tomorrow,
Medicine doesn't cure.
Megan, tomorrow is day one, and day one is always tomorrow.
It usually just, well, most times, it just treats. But we gotta cure it, which I believe in. So.
Thank you, Rose Thorne. That's a great point.
If you don't, you're.
That is a great point. Foodie is Foodie going to how long is Foodie going to perpetrate this lie of the fast? Because she was already perpetrating a lie with the Ramadan fast. She wasn't really fasting for Ramadan, but she kept saying every day, "Oh, well, I'm breaking my fast with this first meal. This is my first time, breaking the fast, and after this, I'm going to be eating for the evening. This is my first post-fast meal." So she's saying now, well, I'm actually going to fast for real now. So all that other fasting was a lie, but whatever. Yeah, it's all crap. Foodie's full of crap. And again, if she's not a total raging bee, we know she's lying, because Foodie can't go 5 minutes without having a snack. There's no way that she's going to be able to do a water fast for 30 frickin' days. 30 frickin' days. 30 frickin' days. No way. Oh, here we go. Nirvana says, a really good friend of mine stopped the sugars and the bad carbs for 2 weeks, and she shed a lot of weight and wasn't even that fat. I can believe it, Nirvana. I've seen the results on myself. When I was really serious about dieting and exercise, the weight fell off. The weight fell off. The weight came right back on just as quick when I started eating like crap again. But when I was, really dieting and in the gym, it was a pretty quick difference maker. And I understand everybody's different. Some people are going to get results faster than others. But if you are really dieting hard and you're really working out hard, you're going to get results whether you want them or not. Everybody's going to get results. You may not get as some people may get less than others, but there's no way you can't get results. There's no way you're going to not get any results if you're working out and dieting, except unless you're Glitter and Lasers. She's the only one who manages to work out and diet and take weight loss drugs and just can't lose any weight whatsoever. Can't lose anything. Doesn't matter what she does. She does look pretty loaded. I don't know what she would be on over there, though. I don't know what she'd be on, but I agree she does look a little bit out of it. Maybe this is like an after effect from being sick, like she's just like delirious from being ill. Maybe. Glitter and Lasers has been looking absolutely loaded, in my opinion. And again, I don't want to criticize her too hard for that, because I have sympathy for her on that. Like I don't wish that on anybody. But she talks so much about how she has all this pain and how getting the surgeries reduced her pain, but yet she seems like she's more loaded than ever. So it's just not adding up. But whatever, nothing adds up for her. Ooh, fallen angel. I like that theory a lot. I love that theory, actually. There you go. Here you are. It's losing weight is not an option. When you cut your calories enough and you go and you exercise, or even if you just cut your calories, the weight's going to come off if you really cut them. Oh, Cat C, that's a good theory. And I know Aless said that you can get pretty much anything you need from a pharmacy over there. I mean, nothing too crazy, obviously. You can't get, like morphine or anything like that. But I don't know exactly, but he said like that kind of stuff, that kind of like mid-grade pharmaceutical, controlled substance that's not like super restricted. That kind of stuff is pretty widely available semi over there. So that is something that it's possible. If she was really ill, she might have gone to the emergency room and they might have given her some kind of tranquilizer, like to calm her down. She might have had like a high blood pressure or was experiencing seizures, or not seizures, but twitches, something like that. They may have given her a tranquilizer. Okay, so just to break it up a little bit, because I do want to do the retro react tonight as well. We might run a little bit over the time limit tonight, but I want to cover Rosie just a little bit. I want to cover just a little bit of Rosie. So let me put on the bumper real quick, or I'll actually let this run out at the very end.
Welcome to your opinion. That's fine. But I'm hoping I can prove everyone wrong. And be a living example of also how this can help and heal. Anyways, thanks for listening, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
All right, just give me one moment here while I pull up the Rosie video, because she recently announced that she's leaving YouTube. I don't think she really is. I think she's just doing this for the moment. It's a pretty short video, so let's hear what she has to say. And I actually did a video once before. I react once already to Rosie, so I think most of you kind of know where I stand on her. Just to give a little bit of background info on Rosie. She is someone who used to be heavily involved in the feeder lifestyle. She is, oops, I got to share the screen. One second. She used to be very heavily into the feeder lifestyle, and she claims to have escaped, her words, escaped, in quotes, the feeder lifestyle. Did a whole big interview about it. Then we recently began live streaming on her channel. And even though you could argue that she is not doing feeder content directly, the content she's doing is very borderline feeder content. People call it feeder bait, where she eats large amounts of food on camera. Clearly what other people would call a binge. Very much what she eats to keep herself so heavy. And whether or not it's feeder content or not is up for debate. But anyway, if you know anything about Rosie, you have an opinion by now. So she said she's leaving YouTube. She's been getting a lot of views, like tens of thousands of views some nights. So she's been having a pretty successful channel, much more successful than mine, at least in that sense. So let's see what she has to say. This is her farewell to YouTube, despite having built a fairly successful channel in a short time.
Get me, the people who support my journey and understand the ups and downs and understand what I'm going through. I just want to thank you. I want to thank you so much for everything that you've done to be a part of my YouTube journey and making dreams come true.
Well, there you go.
But I gotta go. And this is not a new feeling. My original plan was to sit on this feeling for another month or two before I left. Make some
interesting theory, Megan.
Some more content for y'all, hang out on some more lives. But something has happened today, and we're gonna talk about it because it happened faster than I thought it would. But yeah, I have some
protein queen. I love it.
Scarily dedicated to hating me and my existence.
Okay, this is what I have to address, and I hope she's not referring to reactors like myself. I don't speak on behalf of other reactors. I don't hold myself apart. I believe I'm a reactor. I'm part of the reactor community in that sense, whether I like it or not. But I try to make a point to keep it respectful, even if sometimes I make jokes, even if sometimes I can be direct. I try never to be like mean or angry or cruel or anything like that. So if some people are acting like that, I can't take responsibility for them. But I know that, at least speaking for myself, I don't accept this description of her saying, I mean, I guess I don't want to throw anybody else under the bus. I don't know of anybody who's behaved that way toward Rosie. There maybe is somebody who has, I don't know. But I have not seen it. So with that said, with that out of the way, she's claiming that there's people who absolutely hate her and want to destroy her. And I can accept there's probably some people who don't like her, but I'm not so sure about the wanting to destroy her and all that. Let's let her say it again.
But yeah, I have some people who are scarily dedicated to hating me and my existence. And I feel like there are some external forces I could blame for that. I mean, I don't really know how I could blame myself because I haven't done anything to these people except exist on the internet. But
anything these people except exist on the internet. Well, I guess, like I said, I can't speak for anybody other than myself. If I've criticized Rosie for existing on the internet, I've criticized her for being somewhat hypocritical. But my criticism has been somewhat muted. But as her channel has grown in popularity, I don't feel that it's inappropriate to react to it. And reaction is reaction. It's just simply, I guess it's like quality control, right? Like content comes onto YouTube. YouTube doesn't review the content that gets posted. They let you post anything. You can be all lies. It can be all the truth. It can be somewhere in between. I think it's good to have reactors. Somebody should be out there to kind of look at the people posting content and say, hey, does what you're saying match what you're doing in any way? I think that's a fair role to play.
I'm done. And I've been done for a hot minute. But especially recently when some larger creators started covering me, the vibe of my channel has changed. Because it's one thing if like you're an already established creator with a lot of followers, and like larger channels start covering you. But when you're a pretty small channel and there's that very like large power imbalance within that parasocial dynamic, it has, I'll say for me, it has created such a giant shift in my experience as a creator. I recently had some drama where
last week J-Bay was I don't know if she's still locked up or not, but yes, anybody who's not aware, check out my episode from last week. I went into depth on J-Bay getting locked up. Fit and Full Fat is the channel. She does great videos. She did a whole video on it. I reacted to some of that. Definitely. Yeah, J-Bay is peeling potatoes for once, and she doesn't get to eat them.
A mod who I still don't know went rogue and hit a bunch of my biggest supporters, alienating my biggest supporter on my channel, to a degree that I couldn't recover.
I'm not sure, Lehigh. If that's all you said, then
dynamic I had with that person. And it's really fucked up because that person didn't do anything wrong and I didn't do anything wrong. It's just bored trolls meddling in my life. And today, I was threatened by someone because I had a feeling that there was still a...
Now, again, I'm not denying any of this also. Let me put that out there, disclaimer. I don't know what has actually happened behind the scenes, so there could be some real drama. But Rosie has not really come out with a lot of actual details. So I got to hear it. I got to hear the full story. She can't just be vague and expect me to take her
in my Discord. Even though I had removed a lot of people. So last night, I planted a fake evidence. I planted a fake conversation with fake tea because I wanted to see if it would leak. And today, even though the information was censored, somehow I received a message directly to that number threatening me, that they were going to expose me. When I was planning on bringing this public whenever it came out, or waiting months and telling my friends later, hey...
So somebody threatened her publicly? Let me go back, because I want to hear the details on this. I think this is interesting.
Somehow, I received wanted to see if it would leak.
So she sent out a message privately to see if people were leaking her personal messages? Interesting. Interesting.
And today, even though the information was censored, somehow... I received a message directly to that number threatening me. That they...
Yes, I noticed that. I didn't notice that Secret Squirrel was gone, but I noticed Secret Squirrel put a lot of money into her channel. I don't know who Secret Squirrel is, but they clearly, did not have a problem financially backing Rosie's channel. So, that is interesting. So what happened exactly with Secret Squirrel? I missed that. What exactly happened between them?
They were going to expose me. When I was planning on bringing this public, whenever it came out, or waiting.
Oh, wow. So in other words, this person was donating like massive amounts of money and she didn't notice they were gone for an entire freaking week? Oh my God. What a grateful woman she is. I shouldn't say too much. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's the relationship that she has over there with her viewers. But I know that if I was putting hundreds of dollars into a channel and I was there every day, and then I just, got blocked for a week and nobody even noticed I was gone, I'd feel a certain type of way.
Months until
that is
later,
pretty
hey,
crappy. If
by
that's
the
true.
way, I have made up some fake tea. Sorry, I felt like I had to do that, but I needed to see if the troll was gone, and they're not.
Wow.
So someone that I really trust, is out to get me.
So
again.
somebody, so she's got two problems then. So she's got this video that she made here saying that somebody she trusts is leaking her information, but then apparently a rogue mog blocked her biggest donor, and she didn't even know that she was gone until the money stopped coming in. Oh my God. I mean, I understand, obviously there's room for interpretation and there's multiple sides to every story, but if that is, like how it ultimately, oh my God, that is terrible. That is so terrible.
I don't
it makes her look
sit here
so
and trauma
bad.
dump like I used to, but I've been through some shit. If you've seen like the We're All Insane podcast interview, I've been through some shit with like cyber stalkers and things like that.
You can say that again.
I'm done, dude. I don't need this.
It's a secret.
I came here to have fun. I came here to find joy. I came here to have support on my journey. And I wanted this video to be more focused on the fact that I have been contemplating leaving my channel for maybe 3 months, 6 months, a year, or 2.
That's a fair question, Archie, Sabin. But I'll say this, that I think that it's possible that maybe she was like, you know what? I got blocked. Screw this lady. I don't feel like, I can't believe it. Maybe she was so angry she didn't want to come back for a week. I mean, that's possible. I don't want to put words in her mouth. I don't know how she feels, but that's possible, She needed Secret Squirrel to pay the electric bill.
I'm not fully decided on the length of time, but I wanted to leave for health reasons. And I wanted to leave, and I still want to leave because I've come to some conclusions and some things about my health journey and how that's going on the internet and how I'm not liking the results.
Her health journey is not going well and she's not liking the results. First of all, Rosie, what I'm noticing here is Rosie is talking so much about how she has a problem in her community and the toxic haters. I mean, yes, she did start the video with a brief message about all of her true supporters. But I've seen a little bit of Rosie's chats. She is so block happy that there really aren't a lot of haters in her chats. Now, maybe there's problems in the Discord, but I have a hard time believing she's any less quick to block somebody on the Discord than she is on the YouTube channel. So if she's that quick to block everybody, how many haters could she even have in the channel? But that's irrelevant because I guess it's possible if people are dedicated enough, they could just keep making new accounts. But I just feel it's odd that she's so concerned about these, quote, haters and is so little concern for all of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, at least made comments. At least there was over 100 people who commented. Literally over 100 people. I want to say over 100 people commented, asking her to not leave the channel. How many people are trolling her? Maybe a dozen at most? She has 100 people who want her to stay. She spends her whole video talking about how those dozen people who want her to go are more important than the 100 who want her to stay. I think those priorities are out of order.
And how I'm changing trajectory and changing patterns because I refuse to cycle through the same bullshit over and over again. And I'm finding myself cycling, and I don't like it.
Oh, wow.
But I'm not the internet's punching bag. I refuse. And if that means that I have to excuse myself,
but how many,
and get myself to...
I guess what I'm saying is how many of them are dedicated enough to keep making alt accounts after they get blocked? There can't be more than like maybe a dozen people who are really willing to do that full time. Like there might be 100 people who don't like her, might be 1,000 people who don't like her, but there's probably only like a dozen who are really like, I mean, probably not even that many, but I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt and saying there's maybe a dozen people at most who are like regularly going after her. But who knows? I could be wrong. I don't know the full details. But just in my experience, there's generally a very small number of very dedicated trolls.
Together, then that's what I'm gonna do. I did nothing to deserve this. And if you have an opinion about me planting tea, that's your right. I planted a fake story using my ex, pretending that he texted me because
Planted a fake story. Yeah, so what? I planted a fake story. I got everybody scared, but I had to do it because I had to try to play these games to figure out who's loyal to me. I had to do these narc games. I shouldn't insinuate that, but that's what it feels like. These kind of psychological games to see who's really loyal. So I didn't really do anything wrong, even though I faked out the whole community and made you all think that something was really going on.
Because I knew it would get the interest of the troll, and it worked.
I agree.
So they think they have some gotcha on me, some booyah moment on me, and they don't. They played right into my hands, and
that's a possibility.
With how it's gone down, I don't have time for this. I'm constantly fucking sick and in pain. And
you know who looks like an anglerfish? Glitter and Lasers, because she has that bright red lure between her eyes.
And trying to figure out how to get my shit together and how to get my health together. And I have some cool things that may be happening in my life. And I may not be gone forever, but I'm going to be gone for a long time. I don't like to, you know, say what I want. I think this should happen or that should happen. But I don't think anything good is coming from a channel like Rosie's. I mean, maybe giving some people some entertainment, but I don't think it's doing anything good for Rosie long term. And I think for most of the viewers, it's probably not very good for them either. If it's giving them entertainment, that's great. But it's in such an unhealthy way. I mean, I'm not big on censorship. I believe people should have the right to decide what they want to watch, what they don't want to watch. But I certainly don't want to watch this, and I vote with my wallet. You know, I don't support this kind of content. I only watch it for the purposes of reaction. Sorry to the people that genuinely support me and want to be here for me and actually mean it, but I'm not going to sit here.
Agreed, Nutty.
And keep getting toyed with.
Keep getting toyed with. Rosie, you understand something. You are a YouTube creator. You're not a reactor. If you were a reactor, you could make an argument that you want to keep your personal life personal and you want the content to be the focus of what you do. Maybe people would respect that, maybe they wouldn't, but you would have a reasonable argument for that. If you want to be a content creator, you can't complain that people are making you the content. You can't complain that you are the subject of people's comments when you are the content. You want to eat on camera and have people talk about it, but you don't want them to ever say anything critical. You want to invite people into your life and have them hear every little problem that you have, but you don't want them to ever suggest that you do anything other than what you're already doing. You want people to just blindly support you financially, but you don't want them to have any input into what you do or how you entertain them or what you do with the support they give you. You don't want to reciprocate to your audience. You are not beholden to your audience in any significant way, it feels like. Like, I don't hear you saying anything about how you regret all of the money that people have given you, and now you're going to have to close your channel without having given them their money's worth in entertainment. Maybe you feel you've given them that. But if you've accepted a month's worth of donations, shouldn't you turn off your memberships for a month before you end your channel? Like, stop accepting new memberships before you stop making new content? Like, wouldn't that be an issue if you really cared about your viewers so much? Well, whatever, but you get my point.
I'm done.
She's done. She's done with being toyed with.
I'm gonna miss y'all, my supporters. And I'm sorry.
Exactly. Didn't even notice her biggest financial supporter was gone.
But I ask you this, if you support me, and you... Oh, fuck, this goes to me too. And if you participate in LOL culture...
That as well.
LOL Cal culture in Girl World, and things of that nature, I want you to really ask yourself at the end of the day, is what you're doing okay? Even if the subject that...
Yes, absolutely, Rosie. What I am doing is okay. In fact, what I'm doing is beneficial. what I'm doing is actually helping people. I don't know if it's helping them very much. It may not be helping, it may only be helping the tiniest little bit. But even if it helps a millionth of a percent, that's still better than harm. That's still better than causing harm, which is what I think your content is doing. So when you want to criticize what other people are doing, Rosie, one finger is pointing at others, but four are pointing back at you. At least if they can even fold over that far.
You deem morally irreprehensible.
Morally irreprehensible. I gotta make fun of her. We're irreprehensible people.
Is that okay? Because I'm starting to really wake up to the mistakes that I've made when it comes to that.
Thank you.
The missteps that I've made. The lack of...
They are lazy bums. And I say that because they don't even concentrate on making content for their audience. They don't even say, hey, you know what? I don't want to go do a 9 to 5. That sucks. I want to do this YouTube stuff. So you know what? I got to really respect my audience, build that audience, and give them the content that they want. That's what they deserve.
No, the amount of energy that I put into it that I could have used in other aspects of my life to improve myself. Because the shit's for the birds, and I'm not a
I thought you were
bird.
just being mean.
I'm sorry that it has to be like this.
I thought you were just being
I'll see
nice.
you on
I
the
mean,
flip
I'm
side.
sorry.
Maybe I won't. I'm out.
So that's it. So Rosie is storming off because a few trolls she's going to punish all of the paying customers she has because of a few trolls. That's like the other day when Foodie was getting sniped. And instead of saying, well, I'm getting sniped, you know, I'm getting, my stream is being reacted to. These darn reactors won't let me do anything nice for my viewers. Instead of saying that, what does she do? She ends the stream and just punishes her viewers. Okay, so I wanted to do a Foodie retro react tonight, but I also wanted to cover Glitter and Lasers a little bit, but I think we have enough time for both. Let me put on the bumper and let's get back to Foodie for a minute, because I have a really good Foodie retro react we're going to do now. So let me pull this up. I'm going to get back to the comments in a section, folks. Let me just pull this up real quick, and then we'll get back to that. This is the retro react. This is kind of the main story of the night. This is what I thought was so hilarious. After Foodie does all this binging and all this talking about all this other stuff. Crap, I got to find the video. Hold on a second. All right, darn it. I got to go to her channel. Just give me 1 second. I'll find it. I got to search her channel real quick. Here we go. I found it. That was easy.
And I know people are concerned about...
All right. Boom. I can't believe I found it so quickly. This is a video from over 2 years ago. This is back when Foodie was still living in Canada. She is going to now tell us all of the ways that her life has changed, her life is going to change, and how it's not going to be anything like it was in Canada. This video hits very different after 2 years in Kuwait. This video, I watched this video when it was new, and now I'm watching it 2 years later. And I just think it's going to be really fun for me to talk about how I felt the first time I watched it 2 years ago versus how I feel now, because I feel very differently.
Salam alaikum. Hello guys. Welcome. Let me turn on my AC. Welcome to a video. Yes, this is very surprising, I'm sure, for a lot of you guys, and it's not a live stream. I'm trying this out, in all honesty, because you know that I have been very overwhelmed with a lot of
Kat.
attention in general, I guess, that I'm getting online. I know that I need to have some negative with the...
Oh, and let me give everybody else some background. Foodie was not actually Muslim when this video was recorded. She at the time was saying this was for a fashion decision that she made. She was exploring her spirituality. I think that's what she said. She was experimenting with fashion, or experimenting with religion. I don't remember exactly the wording she used, but she was very evasive, and she would not come out and say that she was dating. Well, I think she did say that she was seeing a Muslim man. I think she said that. but she was very evasive about who he was and about what was going on. I think this is before she said that she was going to get married. And yes, mushy.
Positive.
100%.
I know that I will be forever remembered
this was
for
the
my
higher ball
rages. I always have tried to do what I felt was
yes, those
the
things are
appropriate
wild.
thing to do when it comes
They're
to
nutty.
criticism. I mean, I started a YouTube channel. I was just throwing myself into this, and I really just never imagined what kind of world it was. And I really...
Oh, and also notice that the chin. This is back before she learned how to wrap her hijab quite as I'm trying to think of a word for it, quite as before she learned how to wrap it as camouflage. Back when she was actually, you know, wrapping it like a normal woman. I shouldn't say normal, but as a typical hijabi would wear it. This is when I typically see a woman wearing a hijab. It's usually at this level where you can still see under their chin just a little bit. Now she pulls it all the way up to right under that little crease there. So you can't see any of her neck whatsoever. But even with the neck being exposed, you can see how much smaller she is. Look at how much narrower her head is. Her head has gotten so much more circular and moon-shaped.
I had no idea. So, as you can see, I purchased my first
with the head wrap.
Today. This is just a 2-piece set.
Like the old lady at the pool.
I bought a nice pin for it, even though this is already it's already molded, or whatever you want to call it. It's already fit. It's a 2-piece, so I don't have to do the wrap.
Notice how she used to still have her nails.
What I meant to say. So,
Foodie, I wonder why Foodie stopped getting her nails done. Do they not have salons in Kuwait? Does she not like to paint her nails anymore? Like, don't tell me it's for religion, because she doesn't do anything Islamic. She does nothing Islamic. So why doesn't she do her nails?
So I don't really need a pin, but I think the pin is so cute. So, and it's actually really comfortable, and I'm actually surprised when I put it on how
Good point.
Good point. Fit and just felt nice. I feel that.
But she does everything else, Haram.
Good being covered. I'm a little bit.
She doesn't, but that doesn't stop her from anything else.
Insecure about my hair loss, and I just feel more secure being covered, and I have decided to
more secure being
try
covered.
to be more. Try to adopt different values. Try to be more humble.
This is the part. Okay, this is the part where it gets good. This is the part where it gets good. I didn't want to skip through the beginning, but here's where it gets good. Where Foodie talks about how it's not just a change in fashion. It's a whole change in lifestyle. She's becoming a new person. Listen to this. She's nothing like how she used to be.
Insecure about my hair loss, and I just fit and just felt nice. I feel that I feel good being covered. I'm a little bit insecure about my hair loss.
I respect that she can at least admit that. I genuinely mean that. I don't often say something nice about Foodie, but I'll be straight up here. Respect Foodie for admitting it. It's got to be tough being bald at a young age, whether it's something that you had some control over or not in the beginning. At this point, your hair is gone, and I can sympathize with that. Nobody wants to be bald.
And I just feel more secure being covered, and I have decided to try to be more. Try to adopt different values.
Oh yes,
try to be more
I didn't even think of
humble,
that.
At the end of
she got her nails done, but she never got the cat's nails done. It's an excellent point.
The day when you eat all of the paneer and you eat all of the fried chicken sandwiches, and you sleep with the world and you do all kinds of things that are just
interesting,
temporary gratification, you realize that there's just, at the end of the day, there's just only so much temporary instant gratification and bad habits that you can chase. And at the end of the day, you're still just left with, what now? You
hear that, everybody? Foodie has realized that chasing after instant gratification and giving into your bad habits, that's no way to live. Because what are you going to have left at the end? Let's hear this once more.
Temporary gratification, all kinds of things that are just temporary gratification.
It's temporary.
You realize that there's just, at the end of the day, there's just only so much temporary instant gratification and bad habits that you can chase. And at the end of the day, you're still just left with, what now? So I feel...
All right, can you folks see why when I was I knew who Foodie was, but I didn't watch her a lot before this Kuwait arc. This video was around the time when I really started watching her regularly. Could you see why I was just a little bit bamboozled? Doesn't she sound really good in this video? Like, if you had not seen a lot of her other videos, you would want to give her the benefit of the doubt after listening to this. She gives such a convincing speech. So I was quickly disabused of that. But at least for a moment, I said, you know, she sounds so good in this video. She really does. I mean, Foodie's a liar, yes. But she was lying really well in this video. This was good lying. This was believable lying. This was the kind of lying that took effort.
Like, things that are more important to me are starting to be our values and principles and things like that. And I really just kind of want to start actually doing the legwork and turning a new leaf. Now, I'm
sure
still Chantal, and I'm still Foodie Beauty, and I still, as a result of that, am a very eccentric
Maddie, I mean, well, weren't they like from different countries though? That's kind of international. That's the whole world in a way.
person. I always will be, and I just always need to be moving on and experiencing so many different things in life. The type of life I want to live, I don't think is just inside of four walls, you know, all the time.
She doesn't just want to live inside of four walls all the time. She doesn't just want to live trapped in the villa. She wants to go live and explore the world with Salah, right? Being trapped in four walls in the villa, eating chicken sandwiches, that's no way to live.
I'm still Chantal, and I'm still Foodie Beauty, and I still, as a result of that, am a very eccentric person. I always will be, and I just always need to be moving on and experiencing so many different things in life. The type of life I want to live, I don't think is just inside of four walls,
right?
You know, all the time. Okay, maybe inside of four walls, but it has to be different four walls all the time.
That is such a prescient insight. As long as it's a different four walls. As long as it's a different four walls. All Foodie is exactly the same person. She just put a hijab on top. She's still overeating tons of food, but now it's Middle Eastern food. Instead of having Pete's, she has Salah. Instead of living in the villa, she lives in the apartment. Instead of having the Kia, she has the, whatever the new car is, the Chinese car. Everything is the same, even though it's slightly different.
And I just don't know. I really wanted to travel and experience different cultures and different life. And there's a lot of values and principles of different cultures that I appreciate.
Interesting. I did not know that,
so
Jamie.
I just want to say that I'm not sure what is going to be happening going forward in the future. I'm not sure exactly where this journey will take me. So far, it's been taking twists and turns, and honestly, some of them have been very painful, and some of them have been really, really hard
Welcome in again, Steady.
But at the end of the day,
good to see you as always. Foodie is, especially when you compare her to now, it's hilarious how she was talking about how her whole life was going to change, how she was spiritual and she was no longer fulfilled by simple worldly pleasures, and chicken sandwiches and having sex was not enough anymore. She needed something real, something spiritual, something she could build her life around.
I think that I can say I'm grateful for the experiences, because that's how I learn. I'm my own worst enemy, but I'm also my own best friend.
Around the world on her butt.
That I learn from my mistakes, and I'm learning to love myself.
All Foodie learns from her mistakes is how to deny those same mistakes in the future.
I'm learning to do better for myself. I'm learning to just learn that it's okay to not be okay. It's really okay to just accept things the way they are. I know I still have a lot of...
She accepts things the way they are. That's why she's going on a 30-day water fast starting tomorrow, because Foodie has learned to accept who she really is and stop trying to believe in these magical, crazy ideas. 30-day water fast starts tomorrow.
A lot of personal work to do on myself. And just because of the nature of the job, the nature of social media, the nature of the game, I feel that for my own mental health, it's probably better for me to really be more reserved in a lot of ways in my life, to protect myself. Because
I mean, it's not funny,
life
but
is not fair. No one's coming to save me. I can't expect...
You know something, Nirvana? I know something. I hate saying that. I got to stop saying that. Nirvana, something interesting. I think she absolutely would. I mean, I don't feel bad for the guy if he's really into like weird perverse stuff. Then the heck with him. But I could totally see Foodie trying to get him into some kind of trouble if he jilts her, if he kind of just leaves her. Even if he's not into something nasty, she'll come up with something just to get him in trouble.
People to always do the right thing, and I can't expect myself to always do the right thing either. But we're all human at the end of the day, and if there's any lesson I want,
I feel like spotting a
other
Sasquatch.
people, or if there's any message I should say, I want other people, because like
welcome in, Willie.
And I talk a lot of shit, and I doubt that 90% of the time people actually listen to what I say, and I want to say,
agreed.
Please, can we all just stop the hatred and disgusting behavior? Me too. I don't want to rage anymore. I want to just be left alone to do my things. I don't want to be attacked.
This video is so, if I was going to script a video for Foodie, it would not be exactly this, but it would be similar. Like some of what she's saying is exactly what I would tell her to do, or to just say if she wanted to say, what I think would appease her audience and get people off her back. I've said before, I'm not an expert on public relations, but I know a little bit. And Foodie, if I was advising you, I would say that this video here is what you need to get back to. You need to stop trying to attack people and just try to act mature. I mean, you can't do that because you're going to be doing your 30-day water fast tomorrow. What am I even talking about? Let's keep going.
I don't want my family to be attacked. I don't want lies and rumors made up about me. I don't, I'm asking nicely, this is all that I ask. And I really hate to see it done to other people. Not just me. I hate that the community
she's getting
is in
dry,
shambles.
so
I hate that people get, berated over and over and beat up on past mistakes and things like that. So that's about it. I picked up some shish taouk and I'm about to go eat.
Yes, and after that little speech about how food and sitting in four walls is not enough for her, she's going to go into the four walls to eat her takeout Middle Eastern food.
So yeah, I went into this store here in Ottawa, and they sell hijabs, and I just thought that it was really
I agree. She's gonna trash salon
this
no matter
shirt,
what.
Though, obviously it's not really matching with it, but I do like it. So
whether he deserves it or not.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's about it. So going forward, I'm not too sure exactly what I'm going to do for my channel. I do still want to do some streams. And
yes,
most importantly,
this was just before she went to
people
Kuwait.
Say I don't appreciate my VIBs. I love you guys
just over 2
so
years
much.
ago.
You're part of my life. Like,
even Foodie, as fake as she is, at least can take a minute to like thank her beezers and act like she cares about them. Rosie could barely even keep that up for a moment. Like she seems like she's just so. If you want to be a YouTuber, especially like Rosie. Rosie wants to be a real YouTuber. She doesn't just want to do a YouTube video for fun. She wants to do this like full time. If you want to do this full time, you have to show respect to your audience, or you're not going to have one.
Just I cannot say how much I appreciate you, and I am truly sorry if I've ever been very verbally abusive to you or verbally abusive in any way. I feel backed in a corner sometimes, and I take it out and I rage and I get mad, and sometimes I just feel like some comments are just a bit too much sometimes.
End up as food for
going forward. I do also want to change that way
for the street cats.
The energy on my channel is what I want to say. I want to change things to be more positive, and just it probably will end up doing.
And I remember after this, it was so funny because it wasn't long after this that she went to Kuwait. And the first couple days there were the honeymoon phase where she really pretended that everything was good. But then when she went to did the camping trip with Salah's family, and everything went to hell after that. And then Allah and him had a falling out because she insulted his wife and insulted him. And after that, it all went to crap. After that, there was no more pretense of being nice and not bringing hostility and all that. This stuff actually sounded good for maybe like 2 or 3 weeks. And that's all it lasted. A few weeks.
More vlogs and travel content. I know things are always constantly changing.
Good
just
point, Denise. I agree
so drastically on my channel. And I know people are concerned about my mental health. And I understand that. I really, truly, truly believe that a lot of problems would go away if I just really listened to what spiritually is ailing me and realign myself with some values, you know?
Realign herself with some values. Figure out her spirituality. Foodie, this is good advice. Why did you take it?
And morals, and stick to the principles of what's important in this journey of life. You know, all of these bells and whistles, all of these rich foods and fancy things and electronics and all that, that's not important. That really...
Tell that to your husband. He's the one who wanted the laptop and the new car.
Are just comforts, but they're temporary and they don't make us happy. And
they make your husband happy.
I guess I've just always been searching for what really makes me happy as a person, and I've never really known who I am as a person, as a spirit.
2 years later, she still doesn't know. 2 years later, she's still searching. Or I'd say she's still searching, but she kind of gave up.
You know, and I guess this is just the part I'm at on this journey. So I guess if I want you to take anything away from this video, I guess what I want you to know is that going forward, you might see some very crazy things on my channel. And I just want to say, a lot of my beezers, if you're here, you know me now, probably well enough to know what I'm like. If you're here and we bees, I really hope the best way to enjoy my channel, I would say, is to just observe. Just watch and enjoy, and, you know, give your 2 cents, try to be as nice about it as you can, and that's it. I mean, we all have different values. We come from different walks of life. The world is such a big place, and there's so many differences and different possibilities that there's a unique way of living, room enough for everyone to live their own unique way of living, completely differently from
room for everybody to have their own unique way of living completely differently than anybody. Unless your way of living is reacting to Girl World channels, in which case you are scum, you're a zombie vulture.
Everyone else. There's room enough. There's room enough.
Wonderful, right? Okay, I got some videos here for today that should be pretty fun from Tess Holiday. We always talk about the bedbound arc. We always talk about the upcoming bedbound arc for Foodie and for Glitter and for all these gals. And I guess any men too. We don't really talk about the men, but any men who are equally out of shape, they're headed for the same direction. So let me pull up the video clip that I had here. Might be in here. Hold on a second. Okay, I got to go to TikTok to get the video. Sorry, folks. Give me 1 second here. I got to go to Tess's channel to get the actual video. All right, let me share this 1 second here. All right, hopefully you can hear this.
What's in my bag?
So Tess Holiday, you folks may know Tess, you may not know Tess. Most of you probably at least have heard of her. She is a total mess. She was a, quote, plus size model. She's absolutely huge. She's gotten really huge. There's a lot to dislike about her, but I'm not going to go through all that. Right now, I'm just going to talk about how she's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. She doesn't really do any modeling. She just posts a lot of troll bait online, posting healthy at any size, fat acceptance, pablum. Just more of the same crap that we get from Glitter and Lasers, kind of thing. Anyway, turns out she got injured the other day. So let's hear what she had to say.
ER edition. So here's my purse. It's a bagoo. It's
You know bagoo?
my first bagoo. So my purse, my wallet. Don't cancel me. I bought this years ago, and it's my only wallet. An Uncrustable for me, and an Uncrustable for Bowie.
You haven't. Here you are.
Some neat.
I've done some past episodes about her. I'll just give a very quick. I'll just give a little bit more introduction. I guess she was known for doing modeling, but she never really did a lot of modeling because she was so difficult to work with. She never really got any gigs after a while. Allegedly, she showed up to her last modeling gig, and she was so much larger than she told them that they didn't have any clothes that fit her, and they had to just give her like a sample outfit they put together at the last minute. She's also her son has asked her to stop putting him in her TikToks because he's embarrassed. I'm drawing a blank, but I have so much good stuff I could say about Tess. I just didn't bother to look it up ahead of time.
Sticks for Bowie because he loves these. A charger. Some cuties. There's another one in here. My glasses. My Makeup Forever HD palette. You never know.
So this is all because she injured herself and she has to go to the ER.
Just in case. Some Altoids. A hairbrush that a cutie bought me. Oh my god, Vaseline. A Fruit by the Foot, another cord.
How much candy is in her bag?
I'm not, but just in case. Oh my god, this perfume, the K. Ali one. There's hair on everything. I'm sorry. And then, tweezers, some crayons. I like to color on things. I don't know, it's just fun. Oh, my pocket decision book because I'm indecisive.
I don't know her pocket.
I'm not indecisive today.
This is supposed to be for, keep in mind, this is for the emergency room. Who has this much time to pack crap to go a trip to the emergency room? Notice her car is parked.
And a mirror and my AirPods.
This is for she's going to the, okay, so what do you think is wrong with her? She seems like, she's in a serious mode, right? Something must be, is it something serious? What do you think is actually going on?
Bestie.
So here's the video that tells us what's actually happening. Does anybody have a guess? Does anybody have any guess what the emergency is? Let's hear it.
I have an update. Turns out you can rip a ligament in your leg.
A ligament! If she's, I don't know if she's lying, exaggerating, or telling the truth. Go back.
You can rip a ligament.
A ligament! A torn ligament? Is that possible? I mean, I know it's possible, but shouldn't she be in more pain?
In your leg for having the biggest, juiciest ass.
So she's trying to make a joke saying her butt is so big and so wonderful that it ripped a ligament in her knee. I'm assuming her knee, maybe at her ankle. A torn ligament is a very serious injury. If that is for real, I don't know if it's for real or not. Yeah, Botox, backache, emergency, right? I mean, seriously, she seems like she couldn't care less. She ran out of Snickers. Exactly, Steady C. Usually you're miserable. Torn ligament. Unless she is on some very heavy pills, which maybe. How could she have a torn ligament and be sitting there like it's nothing? That's fair too, Denise. It probably does hurt more when she's moving. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. I'm not going to say that she doesn't have a torn ligament. Let's say she does. If it's a torn ligament in her knee, which is the most likely one, there's three main candidates. There's the ACL, the anterior cruciate ligament. There's the MCL, the medial collateral ligament. And the PCL, posterior cruciate ligament. Those are the three ligaments in the knee. The ACL is the most important. If she ripped that one, she couldn't walk at all. if she ripped one of the other two, she might be able to walk a little bit, but it would be pretty sore. The doctors are going to probably suggest that she wait and see if it heals naturally. And the reason I think they're going to suggest that is because she's such a poor candidate for surgery. Yes, a torn ligament can sometimes need surgery to repair it, but Tess is so heavy that I don't think she's a good candidate for surgery. I think most doctors are not going to want to do surgery on her unless there's no other choice. So I think they're going to suggest that she wait to see if it heals naturally. And then if it doesn't, they might recommend surgery. Now, if she does get surgery, she's looking at weeks and probably months of recovery time. And even if she does get the surgery, if she doesn't lose weight and she doesn't take her recovery seriously, she's going to end up re-injuring the leg, or she's going to re-injure the other leg. Because when you lose a ligament, the other ones have to support more weight now. That's how it works. There's 3 ligaments in that knee. If one of them breaks, the other 2 have to support all of the weight. Her leg could barely support her weight with everything intact. I believe that this is the beginning of the bedbound arc for Tess Holiday. It may not happen overnight. It may take a couple years, but I believe this might be the beginning of it. We all talked about for Foodie or Amber how an injury is going to be the catalyst for them becoming bedbound. And tearing a ligament in your knee, even for a healthy person, could severely impact your mobility. For somebody as heavy as Tess, if she doesn't take this seriously, she's going to be headed for some very serious long-term complications. Now, that's assuming that she's correct and she's not exaggerating or incorrect as to the nature of her injury. But again, to repeat, if her injury is in fact a torn ligament and it's especially if it's an ACL, she is going to need some very serious recovery, and there's no way she can recover at her current weight. There's no way she can recover at her current weight. Not an injury to her knee. So let's end with just a quick little post on glitter and lasers. And then we are going to be winding it down after that. Oops, 1 second here, folks. Yes, here's a picture I wanted to post of glitter and lasers, a progress picture. This one here shows her before and after. Where's the picture? Hold on. If you look at this before and after picture, if you look quickly, it looks like the after picture, it looks like the before picture she was a little bit heavier. But if you really look, the after picture, she's actually a little bit bigger in some ways. Look at how much more her belly sticks out in the after. If you notice her sides, even though she seems to have more lumpiness on her legs in the before, they actually look bigger in the after. Especially if you look at the angle she's standing, her rear really is filled in. Her midsection is filled in. Her chin has filled in. Basically everything but her arms. So I don't know what kind of plastic surgery that's supposed to be. So let me see what you folks have to say. Exactly. Which one's even... You could have told me either one is the after. I wouldn't have known. If you had said to me it was on the left, I would have said, okay. Which one is the after? Which one's the after? Seriously. This is the perfect comment. I have nothing else to say. I can just end the show right here. Which one is the after? There's no way to tell. Her face looks bigger in the after. The flower one, yes, the flower one is the after. But I'm just saying, she barely looks any different, and she looks even bigger. I agree, middle of nowhere. And I'm not trying to shame her, but you should wear what's flattering for your shape. I don't walk around in a Speedo. Above her knee is worse in the after one. It could be the shading, but it does not look good. Does not look good. Okay, I think we're going to wind it down with this because after that comment by Here You Are, I don't think there's really much else left to say. You folks have been awesome tonight. Wonderful chat, as always. If you enjoyed this, if you liked the idea of hearing a little bit more about this glitter and lasers woman, join me for my podcast this Saturday. It is going, or my stream, excuse me, this Saturday at noon. It is going to be a lot of fun. Anybody who was here for the last one knows how much fun it was. We're going to be covering Glitter and Lasers podcast. And she is really delusional. She talks about her genes and how she has a combination of super rare obesity genes that make it physically impossible for her to lose weight, no matter what she does. Steady C, we're all confused. Allegedly, she took this picture down after she didn't get enough positive feedback. Yes, everyone, please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the channel. Please hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more of this content. Oh, you're very welcome, Nirvana. Agreed. Here you are. It is not for walking on the beach. It's for swimming. It's for racing in a swimming pool. Agreed. That's what it's for. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. You are all awesome. Thank you very much, Nirvana. You're all very much appreciated. Good night, Denise. Good night. Here you are. Good night, Alizu. Good night, Steady C. Good night, Middle of Nowhere. Good night, Nutty. Good night, Wooly. Hope you're all having a wonderful evening. Let me put back on the banner. I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful evening. Wonderful evening. I hope to see you all Saturday. Have a great night, everybody.